He'll try to look through the dust on the floor to see if there's any sort of signs of something moving around or.
Sure, you can make a looking through a dust of the cavernous floor-based skill check, Manaki.
Sure. Now, being a Horizon shaper, he was kind of not, also personally, not really favored by his old sort of employer, so to speak. So he sometimes got the shitty jobs, which is just nothing really magical, just taking a broom and cleaning up a classroom in the old-fashioned way. Generally, things that have like magically sensitive apparatus and such that can't really be messed with. So he knows a thing or two about dusty floors.
Sure.
Not that he really likes it, but
you can go ahead and use that background.
Intelligence based.
Sure.
I am the arcane janitor. Great background.
It does not look like anyone has moved in this room today until you 5 stepped into this room.
Oh, so everyone okay?
Oh, God.
Relatively, yes.
I still feel them on the inside.
Inside?
Tempus is just, like, brushing at his legs, looking really kind of shaken.
Door, Geráck, is it open?
It is not open.
Nope.
We need to endure it.
But they were getting in my bird. Frowns.
Points towards sleeping bags. That's why they're here.
There are only 4 of them.
To sleep with the things.
Aurelia will say, "Didn't you say this dungeon resets at midnight?
Yeah.
We can't stay here for very long."
So we have to just turn off the lights and deal with.
Maybe we should just stand on the bedrolls. I don't know.
He frowns and looks on his bird.
Bird looks at you. Offers, you think, the equivalent of a shrug.
Oh, he doesn't seem too unnerved.
Nope.
Well, that's good. Well, that gives confidence, you know? Maybe he could do something that would blow up anything that touches him. I can always lightning bolt the area if things get too bad.
Just the area.
I mean, no one's actually been hurt. We might
Kill
try it.
all of them. But
And probably severely burn us.
I think I'll just go over here now, close to this door, actually. That's a good idea.
I think going close to the door is a very good idea for all of us.
I'm just... The reason I have the feeling that it's not going to help.
So, what we're trying to think is we need to just bite the bullet, and regardless of how much these things are going to hurt us and chew on us and tear us apart, we just need to endure it and suck it up.
I don't know. Grim sort of shrugs, turns off his light, and closes his eyes, and stands like that.
Alright. Leon's dancing lights still faintly fill the room.
Can Geráck pick up this bedroll?
You sure can.
Right. He will place it over here then and stand on it.
Okay.
Tempest watches this happen, kind of looks around. Well, if this succeeds, at the very least, hopefully that door will click and one of you guys will open it. And Tempest looks at this blanket, this duvet, and goes, screw it. And he'll climb into the sleeping bag.
That could be alive, for all you know.
Leon shall pull out his own blanket
Okay.
and kind of just, basically almost set up like a small bed here and just lay down, looking to the others if they want the dancing lights out.
Try to close your eyes when it's dark. Maybe not seeing them will help.
we're not seeing them.
Try to anyway.
You mean close our inner eye?
No, just close your eyes.
Tempus, just try to go to sleep. You'll be fine.
Stag anyway.
Tempus will just have a firm grip of his magically defensive armor. I just get himself tucked in, pull his hood down over his eyes,
Okay.
and just properly, one of his hands is like pushing the hood against his eyes, so definitely can't see anything.
Okay.
Leon will lay down his position, look over to the others, and then just, with one word, extinguish.
Dwohurim will prepare to try to read if there's some sort of magical effect of sort of targeting him, or
Okay.
try to cope with it as through understanding it.
Sure. We'll go with all the lights are extinguished in the room once again. I said all the lights are extinguished in the room once again. There.
That was two of them with us in bed.
Yes. This is against Geráck. The same sensation immediately returns. Now they're swarming all over the bedroll. They're burrowing in between the crevices of your plate, trying to nibble on the sweet muscular flesh beneath. And a few of them appear to be heading straight for your eyes.
Geráck will.
You get the
Close his
unnatural
eyes.
sensation that it seems as if these beetles really like eyes. Because you think back to it now, and didn't it seem that those digestive sacs on top of their bodies have half-dissolved eyeballs? It did.
Geráck will shut his eyes very tightly and sort of shudder a bit and pray.
Okay. This will be against Leon. Leon, laying down, has a great bird's eye view of all of these things now crawling off of the floor and onto him so that they can swarm all over him. Many dozens of these tiny little creatures marching over his face, heading for his eyes. And
eyes are
Leon
closed.
has the impression he can feel them on his skin. It whispers in his mind that if he can just put the light back on, the crawling will go away. Does Leon endure? Or does he turn
Leon
on the light?
tries to endure
Okay.
with his eyes closed.
This will be against Tempus.
Tempus's armor. 12 plus resistance.
Yes, he will certainly have the that apply at least. So it'll only deal half damage against you. But it is the same effect that has materialized. He can see them in his mind's eye now. They've crawled into his hood. They're marching all over his face. They're burrowing into his ears. They're moving for his nostrils and eyes.
Tempus tries to clamp down his hand that's over his eyes and keeps squeezing it at the mental armor, trying to hope it'll just magically stop it all. He's trying to resist it. He's trying to resist the crawling of them into his orifices.
Right. That is against Dwohurim. Dwohurim, with his eyes closed, will not see them, but he can feel the prickles of dozens of these creatures marching through his robes and clothes and trying to get up his neck and through his beard at his face. I want you to use your intelligence modifier and make a magical background skill check for me, Dwohurim. This Dwohurim would have to feel as these does Dwohurim feel compelled to turn on a light? Will he actually turn on a light?
Well, what does it tell him? What does he think it is? What's going on?
Dwohurim thinks that this is a magical trap that is built somewhere in this room. That it is seemingly illusionary, but quite real.
He turns on the light.
As it assails the mind.
As soon as that's the sensation, nope.
Yep.
And he prepares himself again for battle.
Okay.
Something probably snuck up and something's gonna get a whole lot of
That
hurt.
is against Aurelia. Okay. I have some messages to send out now.
Prepare to fight.
Everyone who
Great, I'm prone.
It's a trap. Not real and not real. Something crazy's going on.
Oh, trap sense time.
Oh no. Hmm. I'm just gonna try to smash one of them because if they're not there,
But do you know one of the rules is not to break down the walls? So
I think we can smack the beetles.
even with the half.
What?
Oh, yeah, that's not halved, Gryph. You should have that. I didn't have that for you.
Okay, I was gonna say, holy fuck!
Yes. Light comes back on in the room again as Dwohurim bellows, "Prepare to fight!"
Looks
Tempest
around.
will try and get up, keeping his eyes shut, not
Is
sure
it-
what's happening.
Now that there is light, Dwohurim can see that there are no such creatures in the room that he felt crawling on him.
Does anything move still? Dust that's shaking around, looking around.
The exact
The
same
invisible-
condition in which you left it, although now no one feels the crawling upon their skin once light has emitted into the room again.
Looks around. Somewhere in this room, there's something going on.
A trap?
Yes, a trap somewhere. Magical trap.
You know?
Tempest just sort of just opens his hands. Well, that's kind of past my expertise.
Leon sits up, just runs his hand and tries to search for magic in the room.
Okay. Those of you who feel as if you cannot successfully hunt for a magical a magical trap can use your magical backgrounds with your modifier that you use for spellcasting and your level.
Right. It's just that.
Leon and Dwohurim both scan and survey the room. They don't notice any trap. There's no, like directness, this could very well just be non-magical then, because they're not seeing anything. Just feeling the psychic residue of what was ever upon them whenever the lights were out.
Maybe burn the bedrolls.
Am I allowed to spend a recovery? I'm kind of injured actually right now.
Like, you guys can fucking quick rest whenever you'd like.
Yeah.
You're not in combat situation. So long as the lights are on. I should use a recovery for, Aurelia. There we go.
Looks around.
I look around the bedrolls, turning them over, looking around.
Alright, you flip over. They are old and dusty and have seen long life and use. Though they have certainly not been used recently. Except for the one
Tempest.
Tempus is laying in right now.
Tempest, could you get out of that and take a look around the walls? There might be some place where invisible, gassy creatures could get through.
Okay, Tempest will get up, brush himself off.
Maybe we should-
I'm
should
going to
save
very
things.
while you're doing this, I'm just going to look up trap sense so I know exactly what it does.
Yes, that is a valid thing to look up.
Geráck, you know quite a bit about stonework as well. Could you take a look as well?
Well, of
Don't
course.
send something magical, but could be something mechanical. Let's some sort of air thing, or
Never hurts to take a look.
Okay. Tempest starts looking along the. Actually, he'll go over to the fire and start looking under the fire.
Okay. I suppose you could either use your Survivor of the Dwarven Games or Scholar of the Forge background.
I think it's more scholar, really. He's trying to figure out magic. He might have had an incline that some traps are magical during his studies.
Sure, in that case, that would definitely be an intelligence-based skill check for him using that background, your level, and a d20. With that sort of skill check, Tempus is familiar enough with traps that he is quite certain that one is taking effect in this room. But not even with an 18 can he pinpoint its location. He's just not familiar with magical traps. It seems reasonable enough with all of these things that it's some sort of, like, psychic manifestation that assails your mind whenever the lights are off, but he can't pinpoint exactly where it's coming from.
The Tempest will voice this. In case it's look, this is not my expertise. All I know is there is a trap here, much like what you said, Dwohurim. It feels like it's somewhere here, which is a very weird sensation. But I can't give you much more than that.
Could Dwohurim try to ritualistically counter magic the trap room?
Sure! If you want to use your counter magic up in a ritual, I would allow you to attempt to do something like that. Failure would perhaps still disarm the trap and just send a horde of psychic beetles after your brain that you will take a lot of damage from.
How hard does he think it'll be?
He thinks, especially since it's only the words of Tempest that have done this, extremely hard.
It's not worth using my resources for that then.
Tempest will just try and... He'll still try and look around. He'll actually start walking around the room in a desperate attempt to see if any part of the room feels stronger than another part of the room.
It feels stronger. Well, the area where Geráck's in feels stronger because of muscles.
There's nothing on the ceiling. There's nothing on the ceiling, so...
For disarming this, Manaki, you'd be looking at a DC 30 skill check.
Dude, yeah, that's not very likely at all.
That is the same amount of skill check that would be required for you to use knock on that door and force it open. And failing that would, you think, result in a magical backlash. Which may open the door, but perhaps severely wound you if not kill you in the process.
And maybe spawn a huge army of minions.
When we
But
come
you'd be
back
breaking the
tomorrow
rules.
after being teleported out of this room.
Aurelia asks, so what exactly happens if you're in the dungeon at midnight?
Instructions. I think ordinarily you'd be taken outside, but I don't think we've been told exactly.
Oh.
It wasn't something that got brought up in Q&A, I'll be honest.
We could always leave, it was said.
The front door locked.
Yeah, this time it did.
You will recall that your first puzzle area that you stepped into, the door also locked behind you until you answered the first of two riddles.
Did you ever think of, like, some sort of creature that might do this sort of thing?
It's more likely that this is a manifestation of the living dungeon. A trap built by the living dungeon.
Wait, possibly. Only fight it when there's darkness. Do you think we could find it better if there's darkness in here?
Perhaps. I don't know.
Really just trying to catch at straws.
Well, metagame, I have an idea, but yeah.
What would that be?
I mean, no, I'm not gonna. No.
I'll be right back while you kick around ideas then.
So whenever it's dark...
I don't know if I can say or not because Grimith sent us private messages and stuff.
Oh, okay. I got nothing. So whenever it's dark, bad things come out and bite us.
Yeah.
We turn on the light, they're gone.
But the thing is, like, if what happened to you, Geráck could also describe it, because it might have been something that happened or explained to him.
I guess so. I did take damage from it. Like, and you did not, I don't think.
So did Leon. Leon took damage.
What?
Yeah.
No, I took half damage.
They're not real, guys.
Yeah, but we did take damage.
At the same time.
I suppose so, when the lights went off. Or shortly after.
Since I got injured the first time, or not, I got injured the second time, but not the first. I think it's because we did not turn the lights on ourselves. A mental attack. This.
So you're saying the one who turns on the light does not get damaged?
Because neither me or
Feels
Dwohurim got hurt the first time. Yet the second time, I got hurt. Of which, so, when Goger gets back, I'll turn my own dancing lights back on.
What does that mean?
Tempest lightly shrugs. I just know I had things jumping up from the floor to pull me down, and at the same time I had things crawling all over to devour me. They wanted in my ears for some reason.
Your senses. Eyes, ears, mouth, yes.
Tempest nods. Not my eyes, though.
Well, they went for my eyes, certainly. I could feel they wanted my eyes.
So, we know it's a trap. We know it only applies when it's in total darkness. We know it hurts like hell. And for some reason, if you light the light, you don't get hurt.
You want to try touching them, grabbing at them,
No.
squishing them with your hands. As far as I can tell, it's just a magical mental manifestation.
Is there a way we can create a pocket of darkness?
A what?
A pocket of darkness?
Do you have a bucket?
Folks, what's going on? I'm back.
I'm back.
Yay.
I don't know. I mean, someone could crawl into one of these bedrolls, and that's probably dark in there.
Well, Tempus did, but didn't really feel anything, I don't think.
Could you
Did you?
crawl in there again then, Tempus? All the way and close it over you?
Well, I could go in head first, and one of you holds the back of it so it seals it in.
Sure. Leon, could you do that? Lock him in there. Good. Tight.
Tempest will draw one of his daggers out.
See how long he can hold out.
Is that the steps you two go through?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tempest will take one of his daggers as he crawls in head first into the blanket.
Alright.
Sealing it behind.
You seal yourself in, like smother yourself with enough blankets so that it's pitch black, and you don't notice the beetles.
I don't notice anything, girls!
What was
Sounds
that?
like he's in tons of pain.
Are you understanding him?
Let's see what happens.
So we need to immerse ourselves
Oak opens it up very slightly. Are you okay in there?
Perfectly fine, nothing's happening.
We need to immerse ourselves.
Oh, in that case,
darkness,
close
but
it back up.
not have the room
Hey!
a place of darkness.
What was done?
We need to cover ourselves in darkness, but not have the room be in total darkness. Maybe.
Well, Tempest already handled.
Sure. Sure, we'll take some of the logs and make a new campfire using spark to light them.
You can do just that. The fire will come back to life by the bidding of the wizard.
I'll take his bedroll. Sort of feeling a little bit stupid, do the same thing as Tempus has done.
Okay.
Stick his head into it and wiggle into it. It's been artificial darkness.
Okay. the same thing that happens to Tempus happens to Dwohurim.
Geráck will do
He
the same
sounds like
thing.
he's in so much pain.
Okay. Geráck does the exact same thing.
Can we
Everyone doing it?
try and get Aurelia to do the same thing?
Aurelia can look suspiciously, but she'll do the same thing. Aurelia doesn't report being bitten by anything.
Leon just kicks everyone.
And Leon should do the same with his own set of bedrolls, or, you know. Yeah.
Okay, and that's when the ambush comes.
God damn it.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Now that you've all like rendered yourselves helpless. Shit.
That was the trap.
And Mage is hardly helpless, I have to say.
Oh shit.
They'll blow everything up. I mean,
Yes. While you folks have all like immersed yourselves in complete blackness, trying to do the best you can to make sure that you can't perceive any light and your body doesn't connect to any light. You don't hear the northern door click open. It keeps humming.
well, it's fucking useless.
Oh god.
And we'll crawl out again.
It would stand to reason, perhaps with Tempus's 29, that he got that the trap may not be based on what you guys can perceive and can't perceive, so much as the trap having a trigger.
So, Durham will tell him to stay in there. He'll go and he'll actually turn on his light
Okay.
and then, like, stop the fire.
Okay.
Again.
Dwohurim stops the fire. The
Then-
fire is stopped.
He will tell them each to keep a light on inside their bedroll.
Has anyone
gotta
got a
keep
torch?
it
Just,
Stop
just
fire
do
my
it. Just do
bedroll.
it quickly,
How?
I believe actually my... one sec. See what we...
because he can like make his little one.
Yeah, I
tip
create
light.
like 4 separate dancing lights technically, so I just
You-
made
you
them blind
can't-
like the bedroll.
You
Oh.
wouldn't be able to see them at all. Like you if you're sealing
True.
yourself up to the point that you have no vision over where you're sending the light, then you can't send the light there. Certainly
well,
not
like-
with like the precision it would require to send it to someone's sleeping bag.
I mean, send it there, then get in the sleeping bag.
I'm sure the others have thought of ways to have personal lighting.
I mean, that's not going to burn the sleeping
Inside
bag.
a sleeping bag.
I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be okay. No, okay. You want to put up a tent? If you have a tent, we can put that up and sit in there together.
Sure, we'll do that.
Tempus will actually. Well, that's an idea.
The idea is to trick the room into triggering the trap while ourselves not being in the darkness.
I do have one large tent on my character sheet.
God, make it up so that we can all sit in there. I'll make light in there, and then we can like all sit in the light while the room is in darkness, and we'll see what happens.
Make sure Aurelia suggests making sure to blanket like the sides of the tent
Oh,
as much
definitely.
as possible.
I have these blankets; they become the most useful thing on my character sheet.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Tempus
we
has
also
spare
have, we also have
clothing.
the
Like,
bedrolls too.
we'll probably
Yeah.
wrap around in all the clothing to try and like totally insulate it as well. Probably.
Yeah, and
That's
the
true.
bedrolls use them.
The players are attempting
Train!
to apply themselves. Okay. The 5 of you all gather around. You do take some time to pitch your tent and place it in the middle of the room. And then, as you all described, all of you like bundle into there and make sure to like swaddle up in as many blankets as you can. You've probably spent an hour by this point, making sure that everything is perfectly and hermetically sealed. You zip it up all so it's nice and tight and everything, and no light could possibly escape through, you hope. Then,
Including the
Here.
floor.
yes, Dwohurim carries the little light in. You guys all huddle around it so that there's no light on the outside. It's just you folks sitting in there with your little tiny light source. You all settle down, and 6, maybe 12 seconds later, you hear a click from the northeastern door, and it stops humming.
And we'll try to move the light a little outside.
Do we all hear the door click locked again?
No, it stays unlocked.
Wonderful, perfect. Just get this thing cleaned up.
I will pack my tent back into my bag. I'll try.
We don't know how long it's gonna be before that thing locks again.
Oh, really? It says,
It's locked.
hopefully it stays
Geráck
unlocked
will
until
open
the
the door.
dungeon resets. Yes.
Geráck will hold the door open.
The door behind you will open up again. And the door ahead of you will open,
So the advice was completely contrary to what we should do.
revealing another small rectangular hallway with 3 doors, one of which has a polite close sign in front of it.